My name is Adam, also known as Adam the Apprentice. When I got the call from Darren to be a part of this series, I jumped on it right away. I thought it was a great idea. He didn't really give me too many details in the beginning, but at the same time, I trust his creativity and everything that he does. I think is actually really great. So from that point, I told him I was with it, and I think I mentioned to him that Father's Day was coming up, and with everything that was going on, that if we were going to do it, we should try to get to it. And from there, it was like a snowball effect. The amount of people who were interested in being a part of it to what we were going to do, it just kept growing. And once we started it, I started to realize how powerful the message could really be. The questions we asked to the non-fathers was, as a black male, what example do you wish to set for your peers and for the generations to come? And the question we asked the fathers was, how important is your role as a black father? And all the answers that we got were unscripted and right from the heart. Nobody had time to write out the answer or prepare. They just answered from their heart, and that's what made it so beautiful. Nothing we've done here is in any way, shape, or form to discriminate against any other race, culture. But at this time, and for a long time, I believe that it's all of our duty to empower our own and to uplift and build our own. And that's what we're trying to do here. And that's what's in our heart. That's the pure message that's here, is to grow together, learn together, succeed together, and just understand that black is
My name is Darren Beckles, also known as DB Visuals. This is my creative series entitled Black Is. Truth be told, if I told you Black Is was something thought of a long time ago and there was much planning that went into it, I'd be lying. Truth is, one night I was completely outraged at the injustice going on in the black community. And I thought to myself, what part can I play to help push this Black Lives Matter movement? There's people out there protesting, people out there raising donations in order to help support these black movements. And I applaud you guys, I really do. But for me, I wanted it to be something a lot more personal to me. So the next morning I woke up, an idea came to me. And I immediately got on the phone and I called my good friend and mentor Adam, and I began to explain my ideas, and we exchanged ideas back and forth. And after that, during that conversation, you could feel that fire inside of both of us ignite, just bouncing ideas back and forth. Because we knew what we were about to embark on was something powerful. Something so powerful for our black community, for our black men. This series is by far the most impactful thing that I feel has ever done as a creative. And I take pride in this because it touches so close to home, being a young black male and a young black father. Everybody that came had something to say. They had a voice. And that's what we want you guys as the viewer to see. We want them to be heard. We want them to be seen. We want to be seen as the black community. Because for far too long, we haven't been seen and we haven't been heard. What you're about to view is what we created.
My role as a black father is a really important one, especially like, me being a black man and me having a young son that is a black boy that is going to grow to be a man. I have to be there in his life to show him what it is to be a black man and what it means to be a black man. Because in this society that we're living in today, if you don't step up as a father, especially as a black one, society's gonna teach your son how to be, which is a thug, a drug dealer, a gangbanger. There's a lot of different traps set out for young black kids that me personally, I even fell for. But I had my father there to steer me off into the right path, because my father was always in my life, even though I lived in certain communities that had traps set out, right? So me being a black man, it's very important for me to be in my son's life, just so he has a role model to look up to.
As an example that I want to set for my peers is that we're not a statistic that they put us out to be. Growing up, our parents always told us, don't wear your do-rag, cut your hair, don't wear cornrows, don't do this, pull up your pants, walk like this, don't wear black jackets, because, they don't want these people to label us as something that we're really not. And as us as black people, that's our culture and that's who we are and that's how we grow, right? And I want to leave that positive role model in somebody's life. That way they can look up to somebody, because a lot of people don't have that positive role model. They would have that negative person in their life showing them the wrong things to do, and the wrong ways to grow, right? So being black in the community and having that strong structure and being a smart black man is what I want to set out to be for the future generations to come and for my peers.
As a black male, I want to choose to show that you can be a leader within your community. I want to be able to show that it doesn't matter where you come from, whether it's a low-income community, whether it's a high-income community, that you're able to walk a different path in life than the others around you. I hope it's important that people choose to try to get an education, choose to try to do better than their friends, choose to try to have an ambition and goals in life and wanting to do bigger and better things every day of life. It's important to not be stagnant, to not let the peers and your influences bring you down, but to stand up at all occasions, because that's what's going to push you and that's what's going to help you further along throughout your pathway of life.
The example that I want to set for my peers and for future generations is don't follow behind anybody. Growing up, you think that based on the group of people you grew up with, you have to follow in their footsteps. If you feel you want to go out and do something, that's what you have to go out there and do.
I feel like being a black father in these times specifically is very important. We are always known as men who grow up without their fathers, and I think it's very important that we can break that curse, break that stigma, break that stereotype, and show people that black people are big on family, big on kids, and love their sons and daughters.
I feel my role as a parent, as a black parent, is vital to the next generation, to see them, take that baton and carry on what we've started.
I think it's very important in that sense to be in there, being loving, supporting, and just be playful with your kids.
I'm just trying to be a father, turn my daughter to a queen, teach her how to be a better me. Deep as Maya Angelou, tell her to reach for something tangible, stand for something or fall for what's handed to you, play your cards right and watch who you answer to.
The importance to me to be a black father is to make sure my daughter knows her self-worth, to be her protector, to be her nurturer, to make sure she goes down the right path knowing that she is truly loved and she can be her true natural self.
For my peers, for young boys coming up, I just want to be an example to show them there's more to life than just in our neighborhood, in your little community, you know what I'm saying? There's more to life, there's more options, ways to get money, be successful, be what you want to be. If you have a goal to achieve it, in any ways. In terms of starting on business, if you want to get into investments, the right way to do it, even if you want to continue your career in school, whatever, there's multiple options of being what you want to be. You're not secluded to just, a sport per se, or, whatever comes with your environment around you, or rapping, there's more to life. what I'm saying? So I just wanna do things in a different way and show them that they can do it too, basically.
So the example that I want to show as a black man is that we're much bigger than our stereotypes. We have a lot more to offer than just physical and musical talents that we showcase every day. I honestly think that we have a lot more to impact the world with if we just learn how to work with each other and respect one another.
I feel like an image that we could leave on future generations and also my peers will be not everyone could be the same. It's change for everyone, change for every race, every color, no matter your outcome or your beginning of your life, you can change the outcome. Anything's possible, no matter the poorest place in Toronto or the richest place in Toronto, where you went to school, you can change everything, no matter who your friends are. Just spread positivity and love, and I feel like all that stuff will return back into you in a positive way.
As a black male, the example I want to set is for all of us to, the same example that I learned from Bob Marley, one of my favorite black mentors, and it's just peace, love, unity of black people and all people, and to think differently and to push that thought, push that vision. The people who think differently are the ones that change the world, and I just want to challenge and leave a legacy so that people remember I thought differently, I led the way, but I think I didn't back down, and I want the next generation to continue where I left off.
It's important being a black father to my son, my daughters, especially after seeing them for the first time and them looking at me. It's my right to teach them right from wrong. It's my right to show them how to be a man, how to be a king and a queen in this world, a created life. They're descendants of my godly power, I guess. So I have to show them the world.
That's a big question. I think for me personally, I have a unique experience spending 4 years of formative years of my life in the United States specifically, and obviously we all know what's going on there right now. So for me, it's being the change that you want to see, and what that looks like is being comfortable with being in uncomfortable situations. I think for a lot of black males right now, they're getting questions from friends that are not necessarily black on what this all means. And I had the opportunity to learn a lot about that, right? Specifically in the United States, where the issue is so systemic, and a lot of my friends have been saying it's not for your comfort. We appreciate everything that's going on with social media. We appreciate the things that the world is outpouring in support of the black community. But at the same time, there's a cynical side to my belief and those of a lot of other black males specifically. And we don't want this to be just another part of history where we don't make any change. So to answer the question in being, what type of change do I want to see? How am I going to effectuate that within my community, within my environment? It's as little as being comfortable with being uncomfortable, having those conversations that people don't necessarily want to bring up with you, but it's kind of the elephant in the room, that people want to talk about. And then the other thing that I would say is there's beauty in what it means to be black. And I've been reading a bunch of books on the magical Negro and the power and spirituality of what it means to be black. Ta-Nehisi Coates puts it very beautifully that there's a certain culture, there's a certain, he calls it a vibe, that that you have as a black person, right? Which we would want that side of our culture to stay. The music we listen to, the food that we eat, the way that we interact, the way that you look at another black person, you can just kind of talk to them and be able to have that type of connection even if you never met them before, So those are the things that we want to continue, and I want to continue and be a part of that and make people aware of that. But at the same time, the racial injustice, the systemic issues, those are the parts that we want to live without. So I think just having the conversations and being there for both people of your color and also those that are different is a step in the right direction.
Like I was saying, I never really understood the difference in race until I came to North America. Now that I've seen so many things going on around me, even though I always believe that every man should dream, and without dream nothing can be accomplished. But with the situation, I usually tell my daughter, who just entered university, you got to dream big, you got to work harder, you got to be committed, you got to dedicate, and make sure you succeed big in the society. That's the only way you can be able to let your critics realize that you are unique and you are very important. So that's how been my conversation around the house.
I feel like the new type of racism today is just like pretending it doesn't exist. I would, tell like younger me or even like the youth of today, like just like like the possibilities that you can reach are just like limitless, to be honest. You don't only have to play sports or fit into that stereotype. You could exceed well academically, and not even just play sports, but probably even do both. To be honest, I just feel like your potential can reach so many different realms.
As a black male, what I would like to say is that always be a positive light in the room. Always bring that energy with you, and that never listen to what people can say. You as a black man can succeed in all aspects of life.
For my little brother, he's only 19 years old and he's been going through a lot. But he always looks up to me because our father is not someone who's been in our lives for a while or a long time. And I just want to set the example for him to be as a leader, to be successful, to be someone that someone could count on, not to stray away from any hardship or problems, but to attack it full on and continue to be the best person you can be.
Well, I'd want to be a role model to my peers, my siblings, friends, anybody that really comes in contact with me. I'd want to show a journey of resiliency, one of overcoming adversity, overcoming obstacles, and just that not everybody's journey is going to look the same and that there's a process to everybody's journey, and not to get frustrated that your path doesn't look like the path of your peers, but at the end of the day, reaching your goal is the ultimate satisfaction.
As a black father, in my mind, there's two things. First, black, which is identity, and then secondly, my responsibility, which is a father. And so, me being a son before I was ever a father, I understand that I carry something. I carry an identity that not only came from my father, but my creator. And of course, it's God. And so, the first thing I think of is black, and being a father is dominance. I'm naturally dominant because I'm black. And dominance, all it means is power or influence over people. But because I'm black, people fear that. And I'm misunderstood. And my responsibility as a black father is to teach my son that he is powerful and he is dominant. But power is beauty when it is controlled. You see, like electricity, we know it to be a very powerful force. And when it's handled without care, it becomes a disaster. But the good thing is, if you understand the laws of electricity, you can channel it into electricity. You can channel it into light. And we can channel our power to be a light to the world. We are black, we are dominant. Our job is to transcend power, which will light up the world. And it's my job and my responsibility to teach my son that.
As a black man, I want to let the future generations know that no matter what your aspirations are in life, you can do anything you put your mind to. Don't let the ignorance of others stop you from doing what it takes to achieve your goals. Our blackness is not a barrier. It's an asset that gives us the strength and the perseverance we need. Black Lives Matter.
I feel my role as a black father is essential. I am my son's example. I take in mind that I pray for him every night to be a man of honor, a man of God, a man of truth, a man of integrity, a man of compassion. And God responded with, become that man. Be his example.
So an example I would like to leave back for my peers and the future is to just to always stick together as a community. Because when we do stick together as a community, we can move mountains, we can own land, and it just shows that we care for one another. Because nowadays I notice that we're always tearing down each other and never building. And we need strong black men to rise up and build and create and show the world that we're not to be stereotyped. And also for our black women, we gotta treat them like queens and really uplift our whole culture and embrace our culture.
Well, for me, the most important role I play in my daughter's life as a black father is, just showing her how she's supposed to be taken care of as a lady, as a woman. By how I do that is the way I take care of her mom in front of her. So, and we both know we are young too, and as young guys growing up, we always know girls that try to get that fatherly love from us as man, but they always chasing something that they could never get from us because we can't fill that void.
I feel like it's very important being a black father, being a good example. In today's society, there's a lot of things that he's going to have to know and have to be there every step of the way to teach him and guide him and make sure he's good.
I just want to set innovation and leadership. Speak up and you have a voice. Don't be afraid. Have that courage and take the initiative. That's what I want to be known and all the generations to be known as.
Kind of examples I want to set is that anything can happen. No matter in your past, what you're going through right now, your upbringing, your childhood, what happened yesterday, change could come. It can, it will happen. It's something that you have to fight for. You have to be persistent. You have to pursue. You can't let off no matter what. You have to be a fighter no matter what. It's something that's going to help change for the generations. How? Because they don't have to go through what people older than me are going through. They don't have to go through what's going on in 2020. It's something that can happen. So you just have to believe in yourself. You just have to keep on uplifting each other. You can't put each other down. You got to keep the right kind of energy no matter what. You have to.
The inspiration I want to have for my peers and the new generation to come, it's bigger than life. It's bigger than simply becoming a rapper, bigger than simply just being a drug dealer, bigger than simply being an athlete. The inspiration I want to give to my peers and new generation is that you could be governors, you could be a president, you could be a CEO. It doesn't matter what tone of color skin you are, light, dark as 2 a.m., you're still black and you're beautiful. So go out there, do what you have to do, and be what you have to be. And understand that black lives do matter. Be resilient, be fearful, be God-fearing, and do what you know what you can do best.
It happened. I believe the black youth need their father to be in their home. One of the biggest problems today, I believe, is because the father figure is not really in the home for black youths. And I strongly believe that now is the time that we need to have a father-son relationship. And this is what's going to help in this time, because the police can't help, the government can't help. It's going to take us be kingdom man again, taking back our role in our community, in our home, in our church, in the country. And when we say kingdom man, I mean being the priest of your home. Because if you're a priest of your home, you're going to rule, you're going to lead. And that's how your boy will follow. I was talking to my son the other day, and I was saying to Kishan, one of the problems that we're having with our young black men is because it's only the female growing up, or boys. You can't just have a woman grow your boy to become a man. Yes, they will grow up a boy, but they won't become, they have that macho about them. You need a man to grow a man. And I was saying, so now we need our men to be real man again, black man, not just black man. We're Negroes. One thing when I look at it and say black, and then keep on saying black, 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 we're Negroes. We are kings. We are priests. Anytime you start acting that role again, then you don't fear nothing because you know who you are. So I'm saying in this time, our black youth have to know who they are and whose they are. And then you'll function properly in this earth.
Black is.
Black is.
Black is.
Black is.
Black is.
Black is. Black is.
Black is.
Black is relentless.
Dominant.
Confident.
Resourceful.
Indestructible.
Powerful.
Bold.
Prudent.
Is beautiful.
Is resilience.
Strength.
It's everything.
Fierce.
Excellence.
Unique.
It's royalty.
It's everything.
Earth.
Strength.
Love.
Community.
Creative.
Royalty. Limitless. Patience.
Important.
Original.
Black is beautiful pain.